Hey everyone. I already know what this video is going to be about. It's going to be called Don't Let the Grass Always Be Greener, or something along those lines. And it really stems from a random conversation that I had yesterday at the gym, where I went to a gym in San Francisco that I like going to because I know that when I go there, it's going to be quiet, it's going to be empty, and I know I can just kind of have a peaceful workout. But yesterday it was a little bit different. I go there and it's a very small gym, and it's like packed with actually like a handful of people my age, which I'm usually shocked by because which I'm shocked by because the gym itself, the average age there is probably like 50 or 60. But I don't know. I don't think of it too much. Like, I just kind of go about my workout, and I'm doing pull-ups, which is great because I've had a neck injury for a long time now. So it was really good to be able to do those pull-ups, and I got a compliment on them from a guy. I won't say his name here for privacy because I know we have a large audience, and I don't want him to, lose his sense of privacy. But yeah, he complimented me on my pull-up form, which I really appreciated. And I gave him some unsolicited advice where I said, the trick is to just do assisted pull-ups and like use one of those assisted pull-up machines until you can start on the full stack, make it as easy for you as possible, and then over time you'll just slowly lose weight on the machine until eventually you're doing normal pull-ups, and then eventually you're doing what I was doing, which was four sets of 8 reps with different grips with very slow decentric, and yeah, it felt really good to get a compliment on that. And then we started talking about our lives, and it turns out that he goes to UCLA for econ and I go to UC Berkeley for econ, so we have something in common there. And then for high school, we actually went to each other's rival high school, which in our sense, it doesn't actually mean any beef. It's just kind of fun and fascinating, because I feel like the rivalry is actually made pretty fun by the schools. Like, we had a lot of chants that would, make fun of the other school, but it was never in there were never any fights that broke out or anything like that. It was always just kind of poking fun. And so yeah, it was nice to meet him. We started talking about like what we've been doing this summer. And these days I kind of just tell people like, oh, I've been working on some personal projects, because telling people that I have 2 businesses is a little bit weird, especially since neither of them make any money. And I guess making money doesn't like make it easier to talk about the business, but it would give me more credibility. Because right now, the Canker Store business is 0 revenue, and the other business, I'm still like actually considering if I even want to continue it, because I feel like the revenue structure isn't really there. But yeah, we talked about that, and then he mentioned that he's working for he's doing some financial analysis for a tech company, which was very cool to me. It was a company that like fixes errors in code. So like if there's like an error in like ChatGPT or Claude's code, then this company helps assess the error and will help fix the error, which I think is pretty cool. And it seems like it's a high budget finance company where he gets a ton of Claude credits, and I don't know, probably gets really good pay, etc., etc. But it's interesting because he was telling me that he kind of wishes that he did what I was doing, whereas I, like, a lot of times throughout my day, I feel like, man, I wish I had just done the normal internship path, because it would give me a lot more sense of security. And I just thought that was interesting, because we both kind of want what the other person has, but both people are like, you know what, this life actually isn't all that great. You know, like he tells me he just spends a lot of the day at his desk. He'll run a Claude prompt, and then he's just kind of waiting around, not knowing what to do. And then, like right now, I mean, he's early, right? He's a junior. It's his junior summer. But yeah, he says like, you know, they just ask him for advice, which he, you know, of course he'll give, but you know, maybe he doesn't have the most expertise, so it might just be like they're trying to bolster him up. But he said that there's like very little ego at the company, which I would like a lot. I feel like if people were assholes to me, that's like that's like the first thing that would make me want to leave. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but we'll find out. So yeah, and then he also he was saying like, you know, I feel like having these businesses on your resume will look really good if you do end up wanting to get a job. And I was like, man, that's really nice, because I feel like there are a lot of times where I think that I really screwed up by not getting an internship this summer, because I don't have like a locked in route ahead of me. Like, whereas a lot of these people who got internships will just get a return offer and have a lot of sense of comfort. And if they got lucky, then they might even get stock options at a good up-and-coming company that has a higher chance of actually going public or raising more money, which is, you know, to me is like very exciting, because A, like higher earning potential, and B, just being part of something that's in its early stages is very exciting, as you can tell by my interest in entrepreneurship. But yeah, I guess the moral of that story to me is like to not always let the grass feel greener. Don't let it be greener, which I feel like I have a hard time with. You know, I think, man, you know, what if I just had this one more thing? What if I did just get that internship instead of, you know, instead of doing my own business? But then again, I know myself, and I know who I am. And I know that if I had just done the internship and I'd gotten that prestigious internship, then I would have wanted to have been doing my own thing, because I would have maybe felt like this was my last chance to, you know, do my own thing before I get looped into corporate culture. And my one saving grace right now is that maybe I just am able to do both in the future. Like, I'm able to work at a company, ideally a company where not all my time is being put into it. I mean, I definitely want to work in a company where I feel passionate about it, and I feel like I want to put in the hours. That is something that matters to me a lot. But I also feel like I would love to have at least a little bit of free time to work on a side business, a side project. That way, you know, I feel like I can have my entrepreneurial itch scratched while still having, you know, a bit of security, a culture, like a company culture, which I think is really nice. Friends, because like at a certain point in life, like your coworkers do become your friends, and that's something I kind of got a glimpse of when I worked at a company in San Francisco last year. It's that like job kind of does, like when you lack the structure of school, it's like that's what the job is for. So that's something I would really like as well. But yeah, that was the story. I mean, I think it applies to so many things in my life where, you know, I felt like I could have just had like one thing better and it would have made my life so much better. But there's so much greatness in life in general that kind of can get watered down if you just focus on, you know, the one additional thing that you could have. Like, I think a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, I would have been so happy to be where I am in my life. Like, being at Berkeley, I'm in a great relationship right now that I'm very happy with. My relationship with my family couldn't be better. You know, I'm doing well in school. I got I have great friends that I'm happy to call my friends. So it's like, I can't really complain, you know? Like sure, I wish I had maybe a little bit more sense of security with my future, but I can't just hyperfixate on the one thing I don't have. You know, that robs me of the joy of all the things I do have. And that's unfair to both myself and to all the people in my life who have sacrificed for me to have all these, to have, you know, the shelter and, I don't know, just the support that I've received in my life. I've been playing Knockout Tour this whole time in Mario Kart, and it went very well. Another game of first place-ness. You can see my reflection in this thing. Alright, well, that's the video. I'll see you in the next one.